What's something that's heavily outdated but you love using anyway, assuming you could, in theory, replace that thing?
iPod Classic 120 gigs. I've got about 7,000 songs uploaded and about 3,000 of those songs were uploaded from CDs that I've owned from with span of about 15 years.
Measuring spoons my mom gave me when I went to college. I'm 61 years old. Edit. Wow. This is kind of amazing. Never expected this kind of response, much less, any response at all. Now, if only I could post a pic. Be safe, my stranger best friends. Edit 2, thank you so much for the awards, I'm not worthy.
I still use the clock/radio/alarm that my mom got me in 8th grade because I kept sleeping in. I'm 37 and it's still the only alarm obnoxious enough to reliably wake me up.
Pre-war Singer sewing machine. Got from a flea market, the only modern part is a small electric motor I installed on it. I'm also pretty sure that thing could survive atmospheric re-entry.
Paper sticky notes. I write thoughts down as they come to mind, and stick these things on the walls, on my car's dashboard, on the fridge, on my 6-year-old son, etc.
Physical whiteboards. I don't care how slick Zoom's feature of the same name gets, it will never replace the convenience of whipping out a marker and sketching some ideas out freehand.
An actual calendar planner. I don't know why I just don't feel like typing beep out on my smartphone. I'm just so used to decades of using planners to write down when I work, what I have to do, birthdays, vacations, events, etc.
Alarm clock. I figure most people just use the alarm on their phone and set it next to their pillow, but I like having one across the room. I can just look up at night and see the time and I have to physically get up and turn the alarm off, so I never worry about oversleeping.
Headphones with wires. I don't want to have to charge every goddamn thing.
I prefer taking notes on a paper pad and a Uniball pen. I can type over 100 WPS, it just sticks in my head better when I write it. Plus, there's something cathartic about doodling in the margins when there's no substance to what's being said. Edit, 100 WPM. No, I'm not a robot.
Old.reddit.com. Even though it's outdated, I much prefer using it to the redesign.
Books. I just can't read on Kindles or my phone or anything.
My Nintendo DS Lite. There's nothing wrong with the Switch, of course. People have used emulators to play the older Pokemon games, but it doesn't feel the same as holding the console.
The PS2 is pretty old now, but I still think it's brilliant. It had so many games, including one of my personal favorite PS2 games in The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Mechanical watch. It feels like a little piece of rebellion to have such an inherently outdated, but beautiful, technology with me constantly.
Handwriting diaries.
A physical calculator. Especially the adding machine variety with big numbers that make clicking noises.
I use and collect fountain pens since I was younger, 25 now. And I never enjoy using other writing utensils. Something about writing with fountain pens are so enjoyable for me that convenience doesn't matter.
Not using a bread maker or mixer with a dough hook for bread. The most high-tech item I use is a spatula for the first bit, then it is all by hand. I love baking bread and I've done 2 batches a week for years now.
A treadle sewing machine from the 50s. It's the most trustworthy thing I own and so simple in design it's easy to fix if something happens to it. Electric machines are too complicated for their own good.
My 1940 Sunbeam Radiant Toaster.
Nintendo 64.
The Wii. The Switch can never replace the feeling of the original with games.
Still love printing photos out, especially of my daughter. I want to hold on to them and treasure them for as long as I'm alive and one day look back on them with her.
I want a standard car. I love driving standard, but I know the world is moving away from that. Electric cars don't even have gears, but damn, they're cool. If only they could make one a standard.
Snail mail. I know email and texts are quicker, and I still use those too. But nothing beats getting a letter in the mail.
Downloading music into storage compared to streaming from apps or preloading songs on the app for offline streaming.
Listening to vinyl records. Obviously, listening to music on my phone is way more convenient on the daily, but on those days I just want to sit back and relax, I'm pulling out Billy Joel's Cold Spring Harbor and pouring myself a shot of bourbon.
Landline. As in a phone that is not connected to the internet and does not require cell service. Edit, last earthquake that hit I was the only one able to contact anyone else. Last hurricane? Same thing. No one uses landlines anymore. I can call anywhere in the world at any time unless the line is physically severed, and I can do it faster than a cell phone during times of unrest or disaster. Landline.
I love taking pictures with film cameras. Something about it is very zen to me.
Physical books. There's just something so pleasing about having overflowing bookcases, the feel of a real book in your hands, the rasp of the paper, the colorful titles adorning your shelves, the new and old book smells, etc.
Notebooks, though most of them just sit empty on my shelves looking pretty.
Maps. Paper maps are amazing. I love analyzing them. They're like artwork to me. Every time I use MapQuest, Google Maps and the like, I get stressed out and feel so out of touch with where I'm going.
Using a big old dictionary. There's something about opening a big book that creaks and crackles as you open it. Searching for that word you're trying to define all the while seeing other definitions of words you didn't know.
Winamp.
A cafetiere or French press. I know a coffee machine is far more practical, but I love the process. I love the whiff of coffee aroma when I open my coffee grounds pot. I love stirring it while it brews. I love pressing down the plunger. I even love draining the used grounds through a sieve. A morning's not begun till I've had my coffee fix.
I love old-fashioned ticking clocks.
A typewriter. Not the cool-looking old ones, they are horrible to write on. I'm talking about an electric typewriter from the 80s/90s that have a very computer-like keyboard, but you just stick a paper in it. I have one, and after working on 2 laptops, neither of which will sync with the office printer, maybe I'll just bring it in.
Picasa. Google killed it off years ago in favor of the Google Photos app, which is absolute garbage. You can still download the last version in a couple of places, and you have to make tweaks now and then to keep it running. I've tried so many other photo software packages, and they all lack the versatility and simplicity of Picasa.
My car is 11 years old, but I don't want a new one because new ones look worse, and they've started adding gimmicks like touchscreens and hybrid power and blue headlights.
Headphone jacks, wired headphones. I do not want to have to recharge something that was free to use till it really was done, and if the charge is gone, then what? I won't make the volume go up on my phone in public like a heathen.
Not heavily outdated, but I prefer drawing on paper than digitally.
Hand winding watches. I prefer an elegant classic watch piece over a digital watch any day. Though, I don't have any hate for Apple Watches.
Not sure if this is in the spirit of the post, but my 1968 Ariane snowblower. The thing is a dinosaur, absolutely no frills, but I keep her maintained. She starts on one pull and has churned through a lot of snow and some heavy winters. I have it no other way. I love that little beast.
I'll always have a car with a manual transmission. I can't stand automatics.
Every retro Nintendo game system.
Using a wood pencil.
My 1961 model Electrolux vacuum cleaner. It's the same age as I am, gets carpet and floors cleaner than any new vac I've tried, uses disposable bags that are easy and clean to change, everything important is metal, not beat plastic. Hell, I've used it to blow leaves off of my deck with a blower opening on it. Self-retracting cord, heavy, pretty quiet. I'm going to use it until it dies, then have it rebuilt and use it some more.
I listen to CD.
My Nintendo 64. Just found a shoebox full of games at my mom's house the other day. Never had a dopamine rush like that before. Except that time I accidentally did crystal meth, anyway, yeah.
I regularly still watch movies on Laserdisc. They are inferior to even DVD, but there's just something I love about them. I guess for the same reason I love vinyl records so much.
Cars with actual key ignitions instead of push starts. What the beep is the purpose? I can't stand having to search for my key fob every time I get out of my car. I will never buy another vehicle with a push start. Edit, never buy an Infiniti. They are hot garbage, you will regret it.
Cast iron/steel. Besides my pans, I have a cheese slicer that I love. Besides cheese blocks, I slice butter, boiled eggs, tomatoes. Love this thing.
Probably my VCR and VHS tapes.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.